It's a special car. It's one of a kind. It's the only one like it. Got stopped doing 190 miles an hour in Nevada, and it would do just a little over 3 seconds of 60 45 years ago.
We couldn't have Carroll here again, but Aaron Shelby is coming up here with us. The stories Carroll told us about this car, and I didn't mention it when the 275 was up here, but the whole story of Carroll with his attorney going up to Tahoe, his attorney having a 275 Ferrari and at high altitude leaving him at 140 miles an hour. We actually interviewed the gentleman that built it, Lance. We went and met with him, and he told us the whole story. It was a comp car, came back from Europe after being on a PR tour. It was in Europe with Ford's anticipation of winning Le Mans in 1966, which they did. When it came back, this 3015, 3014, its companion comp car, and 2 GT350Rs, Carroll, after being beat by his attorney and friend, told Lance, I want you to build a car that will beat my attorney's car. He took a full comp lightweight engine, put 2 blowers on it, Carroll's signature automatic transmission, turned the comp car into an SC so he could plate it, and then, as his attorney said, at 140 miles an hour, this time it just exploded. As Carroll said, he got caught. He wasn't actually caught. He was actually doing a race across Nevada. Actually had the police chief with him in the passenger seat. They clocked him doing 190 miles an hour in the car. Carroll told us a lot of stories going through towns in the car. It's a piece of history. When we got it, we went through the car. Everything works on it. All we did is polish it, clean it, and tune it. It's a fabulous car. You can feel Carroll when you're in this automobile. It's absolutely spectacular. There is only one Super Snake left. Another one was built for Bill Cosby. He returned it to Shelby America, and it no longer exists. The Cobra to End All Cobras, as was written in Road and Track in 1968 in February. This is the car. It's a piece of automotive history, the best Cobra on the planet, Carroll Shelby's personal Super Snake. Aaron, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, this is a...
Sorry, turn the mic off.
All right. Yes, definitely. If there's any Shelby out there that's going to bring some emotion, this is it. You played a little clip of the sale from 2008?
2007, yes.
2007. You saw the excitement. You saw Carroll's emotion about this car. This was a special car to Carroll. He loved this car. And this is something that he had built for himself. He had a lot of pride in this and loved to tell stories about driving this car. This is going to be something really special for somebody's collection out here, and looking forward to see who it ends up with tonight.
Well, it's a piece of history, Joseph. Let's do it again.
Well, this engine is equipped, obviously, with a couple of superchargers, but to make that possible, an Edelbrock XF66 cross ram was utilized. Now, Shelby made most of his manifolds in-house, but undoubtedly for this one-off or two-off situation, they turned instead to Edelbrock.
To make it work, it's got a rather ungainly-looking bulge on the hood and a scoop that goes into it. That's not about let's try and look cool. That's all about try to get air into that engine, and that's what it took to make it work.
I dare say that resembles the Boss 429 scoop of 2 years later. So you got to wonder if maybe the Ford stars will say, that's a pretty cool scoop. Make a note.
When Craig was talking, he referred to this as a comp car. It was originally built as a competition car, and that's what it went to Europe for. It wasn't race, but it was used as a press car because of what was going on with Ford. So this started life as a pure high-performance piece of machinery.
I don't know what else to say about it. It is a one-of-a-kind car. It is the only Cobra with a hood like this. Lance, when I talked to him, told me what they did to build this car. He's still available if anybody wants to talk to him. This is a crown jewel for anybody's collection, and you know, I had it in my garage. I'm tempted to bid on it if nobody else is going to start, because I love this car.
$4 million. I need to get $4 million.
Well, underneath this beautiful aluminum body is a tube steel frame, and the 289 cars rode on 3-inch diameter tubes. Well, for the 427s, all that torque and weight, they went up to 4-inch diameter tubes. The aluminum on the body also got thicker than the 289 cars, so very unique. Of course, the 427 cars have the big quarter panels and much more aggressive looking car.
An interesting note, you'll notice it has an automatic transmission. He didn't want to mess with driving with the stick at that point. It was all about pure power because he wasn't going to be racing it side by side. He wanted to go fast and make it simple.
I don't know what else to say about it. The car is in impeccable condition. You can sense Carroll in it. I think Steve wants to say something.
He said everything he needs to say, but I got something else to say. That is arguably the most significant car of its kind in the world. That car literally embodies the American spirit. What we're all living and breathing today wouldn't be possible in the automotive world if it wasn't for the genius of Carroll Shelby. He harnessed all that energy and all that incredible enthusiasm and built a car that today is priceless. It's one of a kind. It's irreplaceable. Rarity, collectability, desirability.
We're in the heart of Super Saturday Night now here at Barrett-Jackson, Scottsdale. This is the moment selling Carroll Shelby's Super Snake Cobra. 2 hours of more coverage is headed your way on FYI.
Steve, you're exactly right. Again, this isn't something that Carroll just owned. This is something
What an
that he
incredible
created.
moment here at
He had the
Barrett-Jackson,
passion to put this
Scottsdale,
together
selling
and
Carroll
challenge his
Shelby's
team.
Super
This
Snake
team pulled together.
427
It's
Cobra.
really something special. It's
We
gonna
are
be
at
great in somebody's
$4.5
collection.
million bid and counting.
Hey, 4.5, 5, and $5 million. $5 million is bid.
We have seen this car cross the block twice before here at Barrett-Jackson. Each time it sold for $5 million. Let's see where it's going to go now. When Craig was up on the block a few moments ago, he made the comment, you know, I think I should bid on this. And it looks like that's exactly what he's done. He's removed himself from the position up above with the auctioneers and has joined the bidders.
C6 automatic, and this is not necessarily a negative. And for one thing, trying to control that power with a 4-speed, not much fun. Ford made an excellent automatic in the form of the C6, which has high line pressure. Basically, a heavy-duty, drag race-capable transmission has been installed here. The C6 is a great trainer.
Historical, what it represents embodies the spirit, the entrepreneurial man that Carroll Shelby was, but more importantly, Shelby, Ford, all the people that touched that car absolutely live and breathe under the hood of that thing. It's an American treasure. Whoever owns it will have, in my opinion, one of the most incredible pieces of Americana that exists, regardless of the price. That's history. It's Americana.
$4 million.
$5 million!
Well, and they pointed out that there's a lot of originality still left on this car. In fact, they say it wasn't restored, it was renewed.
The reserve is off. There is no minimum bid that must be made before the car will sell. The reserve is off. The high bid will take the Super Snake.
Sold for $5 million.
And that's the bid, $5 million for the Super Snake.